Without a doubt, they're competing, if you will, with the CBCs. You know, CBC is a great place too with their campus. You
I don't
know,
know about that, Mr. Clark. I mean, I defer on that.
I say it's
Some of
good.
the
It's
brothers they
not as
done got
good as
out of there,
flu.
you know.
But yeah. So yeah, I saw it. I saw it on paper. I think I wouldn't say that it's better or worse. It's just different. You know, even when I was in school there, you know, it from when I was there to what you experienced was different. You know, so it wasn't better or worse. It was just different. You know. I would say it was better when it came to heat, but see when because we didn't have central air when I was there.
Right. They didn't either when I was there either.
Okay, so we
My
had
freshman year, remember the new SLU was fully built. My sophomore year, we came back because we didn't have any snow days. We had to be out of there, but like the end of April because of the construction.
That's right. That's right. And there was no such thing as a summer dress code or a heat dress code, you know, where you can wear shorts, you know, because yeah, we had a summer dress code when we didn't have any air conditioning. But when the air, because we used to have heat days, you know, half days for heat days.
Yeah.
But now, you know, but then, you know, when they got that central air, you know, it was like, what? You don't need to wear shorts.
Right. Well, people would be stretching it.
Yeah.
People would be stretching it. They would be stretching it. So you transitioned into being the president of Loyola Academy, which is for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade boys, right?
Yes.
So what made you decide to make that move to there, you know, at that time?
That's a great question. And it's a simple answer. I have to say God, you know, because in 2000, believe it or not, in 2003, so Loyola was in existence, which just to let the audience know, Loyola Academy is a Jesuit nativity middle school for boys who have the academic potential to succeed at a St. Louis U High, DeSmet, Chaminade, et cetera, and so forth. But because of socioeconomic issues, they may be hindered from reaching their full potential. So the majority of our students are at the poverty level or below. About 85% come from a single family home led by a matriarch of some sort, you know. The students might be, if they go on to college, they will be first generation to go on to college. Some of them might be first generation to graduate from high school. So basically what we're doing at Loyola is with wraparound education, having with the extended day. Our day begins at 7:30 in the morning and they get out at 5:30 in the evening. And then we have extended year where they begin school the end of July and go through the middle of June. And then what we do, we follow them. We call ourselves an 11+ year program. We follow them through middle school, of course, but then when they move on to these college preparatory high schools, we follow them for 4 years, making sure they're transitioning well during those years. And then when they move on past high school, we follow them to try to help them find their success route. And yes, we would love for them to get a 4-year, get a college degree. However, college isn't for everyone, right? So they might get a trade of some sort. They might go into the service. Whatever their success path is, we try to help them through that. And so that's why we call ourselves an 11+ year program, you know. And so that's what we do. You can see the
kids.
My screen, sir. You know, it's predominantly brown and black kids. We'll currently we sometimes we'll have one or two white students, but the key is that all of them are at the poverty level or below.
Also, a kid can't just like parents like, I just want them to go there and just pay for them to go.
And we've had lawyers.
That's what I was going to say. That's one of the next questions. Like, have people been like, hey, let me get my son in there?
Yeah, and they've said I'll pay full tuition. you know. And what we try to do is we are doing so when we're trying to prepare them for these college prep high schools, we're giving them a pre-college prep high school curriculum, if you will. So it's difficult, you know, but these students can do it. They just need to be told. I mean, you know, I'm a firm believer that any student, especially a student of color, can rise to expectations. However, we have to be careful to whom expectations they rise, right? Because society is expecting these kids, us, to early death, life of crime, early fatherhood, you name it. What they see on TV, that's what they're expecting of these students, right? And so what we're trying to do is say, hey, no, we have high expectations of our students. We telling our students to shoot for the moon, and if you miss, grab a star. You know, you can't, it's not if you go to college, it's where you going to college. It's not if you graduate from high school, it's when you graduate from high school. So it's those high expectations that we have to have for ourselves, for the future, if you will. This is the future generation. So
how many students are in a class, particularly in
so there are 20 to 22 students per class. So we have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So the optimum number of students at Loyola might be between 60 and 65 students.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And so, you know, you asked me, how did I get to Loyola? And it was God, because to be honest with you, I thought I was going to stay at SLU. I wanted to stay at SLU. I wanted to retire from SLU.
Yeah.
But in 2003, the president at the time of SLU told me to go talk to the board president at Loyola, because they was looking for a president. And it was Father Paul Sheridan. And I said, Father Paul, did I do something wrong? And he's like,
right,
no.
right. You trying to get me out of here?
Right. And he said, in Jesuit education, we cannot become complacent to what we're doing. We always need to be striving to do more. So he said, I want you to go over there. I think you'll be good as the president over there. And I said, okay, I'll go talk to the person. And I went over there and talked to the board chair. And when I left, I said, thank you, but no thank you. And I left and I came back to SLU and was happy at SLU. Then in 2006, the president that they hired at Loyola called me. He said, I want you to be the principal, because they was looking for a principal at the time. I said, Kevin, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm happy. And so I didn't even go over there. That was in 2006. Then in 2008, he called again and said, hey, we need another, we're looking for a principal. We just moved into a new building across the street, blah, blah, blah. And so I thought.
So where were they at before? So they're right by Cardinal Ritter. Where were they at before that?
They across the street.
Okay.
So they moved from one building to another building across the street.
Okay.
On the same square block of Cardinal Ritter. And so, you know, that third time I said, man, this has to be more than human. This has to be God, you know, it has to be a reason. And so, you know, I discerned and prayed about it, talked to my wife. We cried and the pros and cons. And it was like, okay, God is calling you to do something. And so I ended up I went to Loyola as the principal. And so that was in 2008. And then after my first years completing that job, the president left. He said he was leaving. So the board chair that I talked to in 2003, he came and he said, we want you to do both. I said, do both what? He said, be the president and the principal. We want you are the face of Loyola. I said, no. They said, yes. So I did the president and the principal's job for a year and a half. Then I was able to relinquish the principal's role, and then I became the president. So then I started thinking, man, and I said to the board chair, I said, you know what? In 2003, I told you no, and now we're in 2009, and now I'm in that position. And I said, you know, God has a plan. You know, it right then and there, it wasn't time.
Yeah.
2003, but now is the time. So with all that being said, people say, well, what made you leave? It was God. You know, I had to be stretched. You know, I was doing good. God was like, you're doing okay here at SLU. You're doing good work here at SLU, but you need it over here. These young brothers need you over here. And so this is my 13th year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you were at SLU for how long? For as a vice principal. No, you were there from like 91 then, right?
I started in 92 and left in 2008. So I was there for 16 years.
So you almost you button up next to.
I'm at 30. I'm at 29 years of being in Jesuit education administration.
Oh man.
I know. I saw like, man.
You said you take those kids on a retreat, stuff like that we did. So it's the same. It's basically the same curriculum we had, right, with just younger version.
That's exactly right. It giving them experience in the same type of thing, but at a younger age, and an adjusted curriculum as well. You know, it's a pre-college preparatory high school curriculum, as opposed to a college preparatory high school curriculum. But yeah, man. So yeah, they're my sons, man. Like you said, I got one biological, but
you got 400.
Yeah, man.
It's more than that now. I was just considering the brothers at SLU. I ain't